Now, joining us to discuss this case, criminologist Casey Jordan. Casey, good morning.
Good morning.
This doesn't seem, from what you hear, like the type of person that would just kind of go missing like this. Not that you could classify people as seeming like the types that would go missing, but what do you make of this case as we see it now?
Well, this is why after a week we're getting more and more alarmed, because the family says they're very close. It is not characteristic of her to just take off. She would at least leave a note. She's not the sort who would just get in the car and drive to a concert. She's not involved in drugs. Nothing seems right about her disappearance.
Left the wallet behind, cell phone they find in a wooded area. I would assume that would raise so many red flags that the family must, be beside themselves at this point.
Exactly. And the cell phone signal, and they just are calling it activity. We don't know if they're just picking up a signal or if phone calls were made, texts were sent. They're being very close-lipped about the cell phone activity. But that's the only thing that's missing. You're right. The purse, her keys, all left at the house. And we don't know whether she took her coat, whether she had access to a car. There's so many questions that are just not answered.
What are some of the questions, though, that investigators are looking at? When you've got clues like that, where certain things are left behind, the purse is, is not with her, the phone is in the woods, stuff is left behind. What are you looking at?
Well, they are just now beginning to focus on some reports from friends of hers at college that she had a boyfriend, some man who wanted to marry her, and perhaps there was a bad breakup with that. They've been at an extreme disadvantage in that it's Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
College isn't in session. They can't just run to Mercyhurst College and interview all of her friends because they're not there. So the interesting information that there could have been a bad relationship, one of the friends described the breakup as bad and the guy is stalkerish.
Yeah.
I think that's direction they're going in now.
Probably. The cell phone records, is that something that they're going to address and just kind of basically bilk the phone and see what kind of calls or text messages exist there?
Hugely. And they are triangulating that signal to the wooded area where they're searching. But again, that's activity. They say the cell phone is off, which probably means the battery died out. But if there were texts sent, if there were incoming calls, they've got all of that. And believe me, they're following up on any calls coming in or out.
When someone's missing for 7, 8 days like this, is it usually a bad, is it a worse sign?
Statistically, it's not good.
Yeah.
It is less and less likely as time goes by that the person will be recovered alive. But we have great stories, Elizabeth Smart among them,
yeah,
of people who are recovered alive. So there's always reason for hope.
Are there any other things there that maybe police are not releasing to the public that's possibly going on behind the scenes?
I think that the boyfriend breakup thing is the biggest thing going on.
Yeah.
There's so many things they're not explaining. I don't know how she got home for the Thanksgiving break from college. Did somebody drop her off? Did she drive herself? What was the state of her luggage? Was it, an exploded suitcase? They say there was no sign of a struggle, but there's a lot they're not telling us. So let's hope the investigation is going better than we know.
All right, Casey Jordan, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time. All right.